Welcome back to Digital Nomad. Today we're going to take a look at a stock called Prime Medicine. I am making a video today because I think we are at a point right now where it has great potential to move up. So we're going to do a quick technical analysis, look at a little bit of fundamental, and go over some keynotes. So if we look at the moving averages, if you started following this channel, you'll notice like the one thing I look at, m- my favorite technical analysis, just look at the moving averages because it's simple and it gives you the best indication of what the stock will do going forward. So if we look at the technical analysis, it's above the, let me see. Yeah, it's above the 50-day moving average. It's on its way to test the 200-day moving average. Today it had a massive 14% increase. But if we go look at the 3-hour chart, look at this. So on the 3-hour, we already have a golden cross right here. And a golden cross is when the 50 crosses above the 200 moving average and is a great indication that the stock is changing trends. So it was on a downtrend and now it could potentially be on an uptrend. But we still, on the 4-hour mark, we still have to print that golden cross. And doesn't mean just because it had a massive 13% increase today, doesn't mean it's just going to keep going up. It might come down, test the moving average, but over the next few days, 2 weeks, it will print that golden cross, and I think it has a squeeze potential. So if you take a look at the other videos on my channels that I've made so far, I do focus on stocks that have squeeze potential, and I go over the reasons why. So the reason I'm making a video on this stock right now because I do believe it has a squeeze potential where it could squeeze up to the $7, $8 mark and test those levels. And I'll show you in a minute exactly why. So if we go look at the fundamental, what you'll see is that it has a 34% short float. That is extremely high. And the short ratio is also very high, which is a good sign. So anything above 10% short float is a very high number, and that means like if it starts to move up, there will be a lot of people trying to cover their short position, which will inevitably, cause the stock to like keep rising up and up until like everyone can like cover the short position. And when that happens, that leads to a short squeeze. And the short float being 34%, that's a very good sign. It's kind of like trading near the lows, so it has not come anywhere close to a squeeze yet, and which it might happen going forward. And I'll show you the options market in a little bit to show you why. So let's take a look at the weekly real quick. See, even on the weekly, it's trading like pretty much near its, all-time low. And on the weekly, if it crosses this 50-day moving average at $3, about like say $4, then that's also a good sign that it will continue to like trend up and at least test these levels. That's $5 and $8 levels. So that's something to keep an eye on. Okay, so now let's take a look at the options market. So if you look at the options market, you see there's a lot of enthusiasm when it comes to the call options. Look at this just today. Um, Look at the size of the volumes compared call volumes compared to the put volumes. Like almost like no one is expecting the stock to like trade below $2. No one's selling, no one's buying, like no activity. But when it comes to the call side, there's way more. This is like extremely dis this is this is very unusual. Like you don't, when you see like almost no activity on the put side, but this much activity on the call side, that means a lot of people are expecting the stock to move up, and a lot of people are betting that it will go over $2.50, and they're placing their bets pretty much. So that's also a good sign. And another thing I want to note, this is just some news that I looked up prior to making this video. So June 23rd, which is like yesterday, a major shareholder purchased 21,000 shares. So that's a great insider buying signal. And then another good news is that JPM Securities maintained a market outperform rating with a $6 price target. So that's, way below where we're trading right now. So that's also a good sign. But the reason I'm making this video right now, as I mentioned in all my videos, please turn on the subscribe and turn on the post notification, because whenever I come across an interesting stock that's about to do, trend up, I will make a video. So subscribe, turn on the notification, and please like this video. And the reason I'm making this video right now, because it's on the precipice of crossing this 200-day moving average. So doesn't mean it will tomorrow, we'll see what happens, but doesn't mean it will immediately cross up. It might test t- uh, it might act as a resistance for a few days, tested, but eventually, because there's so much hype around the options activity and the short float is so high, if it starts to move up, it will move up drastically. So again, I said this in every video, like nothing I say in the video is trading advice or financial advice. It's just for educational purpose only. I do have a small position, and that's because I'll take you behind the scenes. I almost never shared this information. This is behind the scenes, me collecting data, but for this video, I will, because it's pretty interesting. So this is the data. Let me see. This is the data I was collecting since last week, Sunday before market open. And these are the stocks on my radar. I won't go into how I find these stocks yet. Maybe after, after a substantial amount of subscribers, I can like make special videos about that. So please subscribe, get this channel to at least 1,000 subscribers, and then maybe I'll make more detailed videos on like all the data that I collect. You can see down here, like all I do, I collect data on stocks every day, just to track, look for patterns. And so Prime, you see, this was on my list, and on Sunday before market open, that's when I started collecting the data. It was trading at $2.07. That means so far it's a 22% increase. Um, so, I could personally, I could cash out for a 22% profit, which is incredible. Like who that's a pretty amazing profit for such a short period of time. But again, like I don't have a big position, I have a very small position, and I'm just going to kind of see, like, I'm I'm kind of just waiting for a squeeze or something else. Even if it trades down and I exit at like a 5% profit, whatever, I don't really care. I'm kind of in it to see if it does potentially squeeze. That's just how I like to trade. So again, and so yeah, I just wanted to make this video because this is a stock that I find interesting right now. Um, Again, please like this video. Most importantly, subscribe and turn on your post notification, because if I come across a stock that I find interesting, even if I don't make a video on it, I'll make a post and share it on YouTube. So if you're scrolling through your feed, you'll see that post. Okay, like this is something, to look out for, and if it gets enough traction, then I might go ahead and make a video. Um, so yeah, please turn on your notification. And what else do I want to say? Yeah. So on this channel, like I have this video that's doing pretty well right now, how I turned $120 into $8,400 dollars in 2 days. So that's a very interesting video. If you like options and stuff like that, check out that video. I think you'll enjoy it. It's one of the most insane options trade I've ever made. So go check out this video. And again, yeah, that's about it for this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I will keep you updated on this stock. So, maybe I'll make another video in the future going over some technical analysis and see what happens. And again, like if another stock comes up on my radar that I find interesting, I'll make a video on that too. So I'll see you on the next video.